Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be working on another cell phone holder. And for this one, I actually made a couple of modifications. If you have seen my other video with the cell phone holder, there are, as you can see, a couple of different modifications. This one's going to be bigger and it has two pockets. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you. With this one is going to be a lot bigger. This one's going to be 5.5 by 8 in height. Okay. And with this one, you can actually fit your phone. You can fit some mints in here and even a chapstick. And you have a cute little bag. Okay. Just a quick one. You have pockets on this side and you have a pocket on this side as well. Just keep in mind, if you do put something thick here, you will not be able to pull this one as far to fit something else. But it's just a quick and easy tutorial for this new cell phone holder that I have modified and added the two pockets. So let's go ahead and let's jump into it. Go ahead and let's begin. So I am going to be using this fabric. This fabric, I got it from Pip Supply, and it's called Happy School Days, and it's 100% cotton. She actually printed this on the fabric, so I really like that. So here are the materials that we're going to be needing. First of all, we are going to be needing the strap. The strap is going to be 50 inches long by 3 inches. This is going to be the strap, and I already cut my strap here. Next thing we're going to need is one piece for the pocket. So this is going to be our pocket, and the pocket is going to be 14.5 by 6 inches long. So this is the pocket. And then lastly, we're going to be needing an outer lining and interfacing, one piece of each, 17 inches long by 6 inches in height, which is my outer layer, my lining, and my interfacing. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my outer layer, and I'm going to be placing the interface on top of it. Now the interface, remember that it is shiny part down. So I'm going to go ahead and iron this down. And if you've seen my other video of the cell phone holder, the interfacing is a little bit smaller. So you can use either size you like. Remember, you can modify it to however you like to do the cell phone holder. The only difference between this one and the other one is that we are adding a pocket on the outside. So that would be the only difference. So I'm going to go ahead and iron this down. All right, I went ahead and I placed my interfacing. Go ahead and grab is my strap. Now, if you've seen my other videos, the straps are all going to be the same. We're just going to be folding it down in half, and we're going to iron it down. And remember, you can always adjust the strap to make it bigger or to make it smaller. It's your choice. So I'm going to go ahead and just fold it down the middle. Once I fold it down the middle, I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Fold it again in the middle. Iron it down. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab the other side. Iron it down. And then fold it down in the middle again. And you have yourself a strap here. So go ahead and do that for the whole thing of your strap. Okay, so now I clipped it down already to have my strap. Now I'm going to put this on the side. Now the next thing I'm going to grab is my pocket. Now my pocket is going to be 6 inches by 14.5 across. Now remember, you can do whatever size you like. Okay, this is my preference. So for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to be folding it. I'm going to turn it around this way. And I'm going to fold it on both sides because the pocket is going to go like this. So it's going to be on both sides of your bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fold at least half on this side. And then I'm going to iron it down so we can get that crease. And then I'm going to go ahead and clip it down. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side. I'm going to fold it down at least half. And again, iron it down so you can get that crease. All right, so now I have ironed down both sides. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the side. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my lining. Now my lining, I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half. And then I want to get that crease, so I'm going to iron it down. And I'm going to clip both sides. I'm going to go ahead and clip this side and clip this side. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and go to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew my strap. And we have to make sure that we sew from the opening first all the way down to the end and then sew the other side as well. That's the strap. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to sew our pocket from here all the way down and then from this side all the way across. And then we're going to go ahead and grab our lining, and for the lining we're going to sew one complete side all the way down, and from this side we're going to sew a little bit here, leave an opening, so leave about a hand opening, and then sew the rest of it. Okay, so we're only going to be sewing 3 things: lining, pocket, and strap. We're going to be leaving our outer layer towards the end, so leave this one on the side. I have my pocket already sewed. I already have the stitching there. I have my strap already stitched up on both sides, and I have my lining already stitched up all on one side, and then I have the opening here on this side. Okay, if you want you can leave a bigger opening as well, just in case, but it should fit in there. So now I'm going to put the strap and the lining on the side, and I'm going to grab my outer layer. So this is my main fabric that's going to be on the outside. So now I'm going to place my pocket on top of my main layer, and we're going to be measuring on each side. It's going to be 1 3/4. I'm going to go ahead and move it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and measure, make sure that it's 1 3/4 on this side, and then on this side 1 3/4. There we go, right there. Now this one, this will be different based on how much you actually sew on your pocket. So if you sew less than 1 inch, then obviously you can have a bigger space, but make sure that you even it out on both sides so it can be even. So now that I'm going to go ahead and have that, I'm going to clip it down on both sides. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to my sewing machine, and I'm going to sew my pocket down. So I'm going to go ahead and sew from right here from the top all the way across. Okay, all the way down. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I already sewed my pocket. Now I make sure to sew on the very edge of the pocket, so that way when we close it up, we're going to be closing it up like this. And I'm going to cut the corner just a tiny bit. Now this is the part where you would put your label if you have a small business. I got these this label from EverEmblem. I will tag them down below. I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and I did my little mark there. I'm going to go ahead and put my label here, and I'm going to clip it down. And now I'm going to go ahead and close it, and I'm going to clip both sides. And we're going to go to our sewing machine, and we are going to sew on both sides from the top all the way to the bottom. Okay, remember to do front and back stitch a couple of times as well. You want to make sure that your bag is nice and sturdy and it will not fall apart within the couple of times that you use it. Okay, so let's go to our sewing machine and sew up the edges. And then since you can see that there's already stitching because of the pocket, I'm going to go ahead and do stitching on the outer side, so that way when we turn our bag around, we don't see this. So I already stitched it up, and now what I have here is this one is the one that I had sewed the pocket, and then the one next to it is the one that I stitched up the bag together from top all the way to the bottom. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to open it up, and I'm going to try to grab the corner here. Now before actually pushing out the corner, I can go ahead and cut the little edge, and this side as well, just a tiny bit to give it a nice edge look. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the corner here, and then I'm going to push out the bag. Our bag is already inside out. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and just iron it down a little bit. And this is why we have to make sure that we push out the corners as well of the bag to give it a nice look. So make sure that you push out as much as you can to get a nice little corner there. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to open this up, the thing in the middle, the seam allowance, and I'm going to grab my strap, and I'm going to clip it here in the middle. Make sure that they're both in the middle here. And then I'm going to grab the other side of the strap, make sure that it's not intertwined. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to open up the seam allowance on this side, and I'm going to clip it. And then I'm going to go to my sewing machine, and since this is going to be carrying your things depending on how much you put in here, we're going to go ahead and go back sew a couple of times back and forth, 3 to 4 times. That's probably what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it on this side and on this side as well. I have my strap already sewed. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab my strap and my lining, and I'm going to insert my bag in the lining, and make sure that your strap gets pushed in there as well. Make sure that the strap is straight when you are pushing it down. And then once you do this, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my seam allowances on my outer layer and my lining match. I'm going to go ahead and clip that side. And I'm going to do the same thing. Make sure that we push down our strap. Make sure that the strap is straight. It's a good thing you have the opening here. And I'm going to go ahead and Do the same thing. Clip this down. And make sure that you clip this down as well on this side. And on this side as well, make sure that your strap is pushed down because you do not want to sew it when you're going around in a circle. And so now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to my sewing machine, and I'm going to sew all the way around in a circle. Now that you've already sewed all the way around, you're going to take out your bag from that opening that you had not sewed from the lining. I'm just going to go ahead and just pull it out. And this is why you have to make sure that you have an opening in your lining. Then you're just going to poke out the corners, making sure that everything is okay, that there is no opening anywhere else. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to close this opening up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and making sure that it aligns, clipping it, and then you're going to go to your sewing machine to close up this opening. I already sewed up my opening here. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up the bag so I can push down the lining. And once we do that, we just have one final step and we will be done. So for the next step is I'm going to make sure to just push down the lining that it coincides with the outer layer. I'm going to clip it because then we are going to sew on the top to give it that extra support and give it that nice look on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my sewing machine, and I'm going to sew all the way around on the top of the bag. Completely done with your bag. Once you do the sewing on the top over here, the last thing you can do, if you want, you can iron it down. But other than that, you have a cute little bag with two pockets, one here, one on this side, and you have the main fabric. And then the last thing to show you is your bag is going to be measuring around 5.5 to 8. Okay, that's how big your bag will be at the end. But hope you like this quick and easy tutorial, and hope to see you again for the next one.